Yes, Counter Attack Podcast. Daps, I'm back again. We've got two podcasts for you this week. Obviously, this is the normal one with a player. And then we've got the guys back in this week, just trying to figure out what day is good for everyone else. So, yeah, guys, get liking, subscribing, sharing. Today, I have got the Angel of the North, apparently. That's his name, Adam Armstrong. So, as normal, just gonna have a little chit chat with him, talk about his form, because he's championship top goal scorer right now. Long may it continue. And yeah, just chat, how we do. It's not no interview or anything. It's just a random chit chat conversation. So I'm gonna bring him in now. Make sure you guys keep liking, subscribing, and sharing. Adam Armstrong plays for Blackburn Rovers, and we're gonna get it in. So I'm gonna bring him in now. Just waiting for him to come in. Oh. Don't tell me he's got that dodgy Wi-Fi. This is an awkward moment because you're literally just looking at me on the screen. Like, oh, he's gone. Oh no, he's back.
I'm in.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, all good, mate, all good.
Oh, okay. It said that you went out for a sec. I don't know. It said that you left.
No, I can't now. Got you.
Oh, okay, cool. Wait. It's a bit fuzzy. Okay. I got you.
Does that kill the intro bit in that?
Second?
Does that kill the introduction in that?
Oh, no. To be honest, my introduction is always a bit underwhelming, so there's nothing, nothing can really kill it. Just probably just brighten it up a bit more. But yes, Adam, what's going on, man?
Not a lot, mate. Not a lot. Good to be here. Good to have a little chat with you.
Love that. Yeah, I told Brad to get you on, but I didn't want to. It's slowly becoming a Blackburn podcast.
Trying to get the lads on.
Pardon?
Trying to get all the boys on.
Yeah, so I've had, like, obviously I normally get players on anyway, but recently I just feel like I've had so many Blackburn players. I've had Brad, I've had you now, I've had Benno.
It's because we're flying, isn't it?
Yeah, you know me. I've had Danny Graham when he was with you lot.
Yeah.
Do you miss him?
You know what? Yeah, he was a big character in the change room, wasn't he? So it's like you said, he's a big miss, like, but he's a funny lad. So he's missed around the change room and that. But
yeah,
he's flying now, and he was Sunderland, and I think they're flying now as well.
I haven't even looked at how he's doing. Yeah, I need to. What are they doing well? They started off well, Sunderland.
I think so, mate. Yeah, I think he's been on the bench the first few games, but then he's been getting on in that, and I think he scored in the cup and flying, I think. So.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. But yeah, Mr. Angel of the North. First question for you. First question: where did that name come from?
Do you know what it was? We had a game against Bristol, I think it was Bristol away, and I was on the bench, and Brad scored actually in the game, and it was 1-0. And I went through and scored, and like all the fans were just abusing his mate, like on the side. So I just kind of just went there and just stood like that, mate, not smiling, just proper straight face. And then I seen a tweet after it. It was like the Angel of the North, and I thought, it stuck, so I just kept on doing it.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, that is your celebration now, isn't it? So
it has to be, mate. It has to be.
Yeah, no, I love that. And how much joy do you get from that? Just giving it to fans when you score, when they've been getting onto you?
Look, fans are fans, aren't they? I was a fan myself, so I was probably the same. But like you said, mate, it's just giving it to them when bit of banter goes back and forth, and when you score, it's an unreal feeling, especially when the away fans are behind you as well, and give fans some the Angel of the North.
Yeah, love that. You must miss the fans though, right, in these games.
It's boring, man. It's not the same, is it? Like you said, I'm a football fan myself, so I like to go to games and that, and it's just boring, mate. You can't. It's not the same. Like, How do you feel about it anyway? How do you feel about it?
Um, I don't like it, to be honest. Obviously, a lot of the time I'm watching it on TV now, so you know you get the background. The background.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but it's not the same. Like I watched Bayern Munich versus Hoffenheim the other day,
Mm.
and Bayern Munich versus Sevilla, and they've got real fans in now.
Yeah, there was fans there, wasn't there? I seen that.
Yeah, they've got, and it just adds to it. Like it's so much better.
It's the same on the pitch. It's like you're playing, and you know what it's like. You know, last 10 minutes when you need a goal, like fans just big you up, don't they? And the crowd goes nuts. But like you said, it's you've got to stick to these guidelines, haven't you? But I seen a tweet. The other day. It was like, so you're allowed 300 passengers on a plane.
Yeah.
You can go to pubs, restaurants, but you
Mhm.
can't safely have about 1,000 fans that spread around the stadium.
Yeah.
Like,
It's
I don't know, mate, but
but have you noticed, yeah? Because I've been seeing a couple games where little by little, it just looks like there's people in these stadiums anyway. It's not just the teams. It's,
I know. It's like there's loads of people there, isn't there? Games, you just think, where are all these coming from?
yeah.
The fans in?
I think what's going to start happening little by little, you're just going to force their hands, and they're going to have to give in because it makes no sense. It makes no sense
No.
to the fans, and to be totally honest with you. But
Like it's not the same, is it?
maybe you should not have fans because you're flying right now without them. You know what
Yeah, we are. We've had a great start, haven't we?
I mean? 5-3.
5-3. Yeah, it's going well. Like you said, the lads have just went from last season, being so close to the playoffs, and like just took confidence from last season really, and we just seem to be working well together, and everyone's trying to like push each other, to be the best we can. And obviously your boy Brad's flying at the minute, I'm flying, and hopefully that continues, mate, because you know what this league's like.
Yeah, no, 100%. And would you say that anything like dramatically changed like during the short off season for you guys to come back and be flying the way you are?
Like I said, not really, because we lost quite a few players, so we're pretty short going into pre-season. But like you said, just confidence from the first. I know we got beat the first game, but we did really well. That year. And it's just from training, mate. The pre-season's been really good. I think if you ask Brad, if you ask the lads, everyone feels way fitter than last season.
Oh, is it?
I think that's probably the main thing, mate, because we're just literally from the minute go we're back, we're just running constantly, and that's what we've been doing in games, haven't we? So
yeah,
like you said, hopefully that keeps up, and we'll keep on scoring loads of goals.
I mean, hopefully. I mean, there's like, well, I don't know if it's whispers anymore, but you've been actually like tipped to be one of the leading scorers this year. I don't know if you've heard much about that. And when you hear things like that, tell the truth. Like, what does it do for your confidence and for your ego?
It's just, I don't know, mate. It's like I've looked at the league and that, and there's obviously a lot of good strikers in the league, but because I've never been like named, like being talked about being a top goal scorer like before, like it's been like, I mean, I've done well in League One and stuff, but now that I've started this well, the pressure's on. You know what I mean? But I just take every game as it comes, mate, and hopefully come the end of the season that I am near the top, if not the top.
But obviously, that is one of your targets to finish the season. I don't want to put that pressure on you I don't want to put that pressure on you to say top goal scorer, but you are looking to be in and amongst them, surely at the end of the season.
Have to be, mate. I just feel like from last season, I've always had targets of like beating the season before. So if I can score more goals than last season, then for me that's a plus. And but if it's not top goal scorer, I won't be very happy. Like, but
what did you get last season? You got 17 or something, isn't it?
17, mate. Yeah. So anything over 17 would be great, and hopefully that's around the top.
Yeah. How long have you been at Blackburn now? Is this your 4th year?
Well, I signed on loan, didn't I? And then I signed the season after. I think this is the 3rd year. This is the 3rd year. So
how do you like life at Blackburn?
I'm loving it, mate. Yeah, I'm loving it. I've settled down here now. I've been like for 3 years now. So
Mm.
kind of just everything. I'm used to everything down here, and makes a massive difference when you're playing well and the team's playing well. Like
Have,
just way more chilled and way less pressure.
have you noticed the team over the years like actually become better, or do you feel like you've been involved in better teams, better Blackburn teams over the years, or have you progressively seen the progress you guys have made over the years?
Yeah, I've seen it from the start, mate. Like the progression, like from obviously coming on loan. The gaff had said straight away that he wants to progress his team and try and get to the Premier League, and that's what we've done really since I've been here. Like the team's got better, I feel. And like you said, we've had a great start, haven't we? So let's hope that can keep up. Like, but you never know in this championship. Like we touched on before, it's anyone can beat anyone. So
I know.
we just have to keep the confidence in the team, really.
Yeah. It's funny you say that, but you never know about this like this league, because obviously I don't want this to happen, but you guys, you won, your flying goals are going in, but in this division you could easily go 5 games without winning, just like that. So you've got
It happened last year, didn't it? I mean, you go through stages, mate. Like you see teams like who you think you should be on paper, but it's never like that. Like I think last season we actually done better against the better teams. Like you said, this league's nuts, isn't it? Like you can go to a away game thinking you're going to win and you just get battered. It's crazy. That's the league. Like,
who do you look at in the league and think, we need to look out for them this year? If there is a team, obviously it's early days, but when you look at maybe how they carried on from last year or signings that they've made during the off season, who do you look at as like, if we manage to better them, then we'll be up there?
it's hard, isn't it? Because like you said, there's so many, like anyone beats anyone, but I feel like you've always got to look at teams that come down from the Prem, you know, because I think Norwich, Bournemouth have still got the same. They've still got the same players. Like I don't think anyone's really left. So we had a test against Bournemouth, didn't we? First game of the season, and we felt like we could cope with them. So we were like, well, if we can keep up with this sort of team and they're going to be around it, we know at the end of the season, then surely we'll be fine and pushing playoffs as well.
Is Josh King still at Bournemouth?
I think he is still there, but he hasn't been playing, has he? I think he's been linked with a few clubs. But
okay.
I think if he plays, he'll be a massive problem in this division. Like,
yeah, I don't think they've lost too many at all. Obviously, they've lost Callum Wilson.
Just Wilson and Newcastle, I think. I'm sure that's the only one.
And Fraser.
Keeper as well. Keeper and Fraser. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ramsdale went to Sheffield.
Okay, yeah. No, that's one thing. And yeah, Callum Fraser went to your old team, Newcastle.
Yeah.
You still look out for Newcastle?
Always, mate. Yeah, it's like I was boys club, wasn't I? I know I grew up there, massive Newcastle fan, and I've still got mates there who are playing and mates who support the team. So I'm always checking for the results and stuff. And yesterday was a bit crazy. Like, did you see yesterday's?
Yesterday, the last minute penalty
with the handball and stuff.
Listen, you must be so happy that VAR ain't in the championship.
Not in the champ. It's just I don't know. I don't know what to say about it. It's just everyone seems to say it's like it's just not working. Like you're in a game and then you stop them for 2-3 minutes to see a decision. Like, I mean, you seen a Man U's game, didn't you? That the full time whistle actually went.
Yeah, exactly, and then they brought it back.
Brought it back for a pen.
Yeah.
Like, a few of the Brighton lads were celebrating like what a result that was to get a draw, and turns around and gives it a pen.
That's what I'm saying. And the thing is, yeah, like with those handballs and everything, you in Championship obviously don't have VAR, but have there been decisions that you've seen or that you've heard where they've actually given those handballs? Because it seems to be a thing where they don't really give it, but then VAR brings it back up and then they give it.
Yeah.
So
I think
is that
I just think it's better. I feel like, well, I'm not used to it because we've never played with VAR. Do you know what I mean? But it's obviously 50-50 because you can get it some games and you can get it against you another game. But I feel like in the Champ, there's not many like massive decisions to make. Like, I feel like the ref either sees it or he doesn't, and you just get on with it. Do you know what I mean?
But that's how it should be.
And yeah, I think that's been obviously taken away from the game because of VAR. But then again, you see the other side of it of like when you see elbows and
Yeah.
stuff like that, that's when VAR's really good, isn't it? So
Yeah, but do you know what? Like, I don't want to bring up the whole VAR discussion and debate, but I just think it just adds to, like, it's football. Do you know what I mean? Like,
I know, I know.
you just want to
Well,
just.
you had the pundits speak about it, don't you? Saying, look, like, imagine if this was in like 20 years ago, like you wouldn't hear about it. Do you know what I mean? Like
Mm,
VAR. Like, if you said 20 years ago, oh, the next 20 years is going to be VAR, like computerized,
mm.
you'd just laugh at them, wouldn't you? But
Do you think it's ruining the game
um, I don't know. Like you said, it's decisions on both sides. So if you're Newcastle or Brighton yesterday or Saturday, whenever it
though?
was, buzzing, mate, like buzzing. That's what you think about.
Mm.
But on the other hand, you'd be fuming if that's your team. Like saying, "Oh, VAR's rubbish, VAR's this." Do you know what I mean? But,
Mm. I think though, like because of not just the VAR thing, but other factors as well. I think more people are going to watch. In fact, I think I've been starting to see it. Like, more people are watching Championship football now, because before you wouldn't really, like, you knew about Championship football, but unless you've got invested interest in it, a lot of people weren't really watching it. Whereas now, a load of people are actually just tuning into Championship football. It might be because it's just pure football, no VAR.
yeah.
Also, as well, the quality. The quality is.
It's got way better, I think, Championship.
Mm,
I think everyone will tell you that, mate. From playing in it, I've played in it for three or four seasons now, and mate, the standards just went so high.
oh, you notice it from first year to
Yeah. Just
now.
the quality, just bringing better players in.
Mm,
It's just way more challenging, and anyone can beat anyone. I mean, in the Prem, you've got the top 6 teams who more than likely on paper win every week, don't they? But in the Champ, it's probably the opposite, mate. It's just anyone can beat anyone, and I think everyone said that about this league.
Yeah, since you've been playing like Championship football, which team have you noticed has had like the biggest come up? If you had to pick one.
Um, I think Brentford have had a
Oh
really
yeah.
good progression, haven't they? I mean, I don't think they've ever got to the Premier League, but
Mm.
from where they've been and the squad and who they're selling and players that they're bringing on, and obviously Ollie Watkins going away and talks of Benrahma, like they just came from kind of nothing really. It was kind of like, oh, Brentford, but now like people go, oh, Brentford are a very good
Yeah.
team now. Like,
They're like almost like household names, like,
yeah,
you know what I mean? And people who, like, casual fans of Championship football or whatever, might look at Championship and think, oh, Brentford's just going to be up there. Just
yeah,
even though they don't really know much about Brentford, but the name
no.
itself just rings bells. But I definitely feel like I'm not just saying this because you're here and because obviously you've got friends that play, but I think you guys should be up there if you keep your players fit. Because I don't think you've got a big squad.
Nah, it's not. It's not the biggest. I think that's what kind of killed us last season, kind of getting injuries at wrong times and stuff. And obviously, like you said, the transfer windows comes, players go, players leave, and like you said, the championship's like a long slug, isn't it? 48 games, is it? 46 games. Like
No.
players get injured, mate. It's horrible, isn't it? But luckily, hopefully, we can stay fit this season, mate, and be in and around it again last season and really try and get into the playoffs. I think that's what everyone wants, like we're not stupid.
Yeah.
All footballers want to try and get the Premier League, and I think, to be fair, there's probably I'd say there's 12 teams who could get in the playoffs this year, like who could really push for it. Because last year it was the same, so it's only going to get better this year. So
Yeah.
I think anyone could be in it, really.
Yeah, I think it's just about trying to get those moments of consistency, as always in Championship football. So, if you guys can go on a little run, and no doubt you will have your blip, but just hope that your blips don't last as long as they had.
Well, you seen it with Villa, didn't you? It was 2 seasons ago. They were
Yeah,
in the bottom half of the table at Christmas, and then just went on a mad run and ended up getting promoted. So.
Exactly. Even like the other way around, where Brentford looked like unbeatable, come back from lockdown and
yeah,
almost bottled it. Well, they did bottle it. Do you know what I mean? So
yeah.
Who have you guys still got to come back? Bradley Dack needs to come back.
Bradley Dack. We've got Corey Evans. Sam Gallagher's back training now. Obviously got the new signing Ayala. who's hasn't had much fitness, so I think he's playing for the 23s and that this week. Trying to think who else. I don't want to forget anyone and get rinsed. Who?
Trav.
Trav, obviously. I think Trav may have a long injury, I think, though. The lads I've said are pretty much like back on the grass, you know, so hopefully they're not long. But I think Trav's getting an operation, I think.
Yeah. Hopefully he gets better soon. Do you see any more like transfers going in? You as a player, in fact, do you ever sit there, look around the change room and think, we need a couple more bodies in, like we need this, like we need this player, that player, because obviously a manager's going to have the final say, the club's going to have the final say, but you guys are on the pitch, and you know sometimes you might be playing a match and you might go back thinking this is what we need. Are you able to go to your manager and say, look, we need this, we need that, or do you just stay out of it and just wait to see who comes in?
We just stay out of it, mate. As footballers, I've never been to a club where players have been like, oh, we need this, we need that. Like, I think it's just trusting obviously your manager and the scouts and stuff. And I think we're nowhere near it really. You know, we see lads come in and just like there could be someone in tomorrow for all we know. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. It's like that's how bad it is. Well, not bad. It's a good thing, isn't it? You want players in, and you always want players to compete in the starting 11. Do you know what I mean? You don't want it to be easy and you know knowing that you're going to play every week. Like for me as a footballer, I want someone to come in and like push us. Do you know what I mean? I think everyone's the same. So
would you look at yourself and think you're starting every week though? Tell the truth.
Just for the form I'm in, mate, I'd be pretty good if I just got dropped randomly, like so.
And you must enjoy days like these or times like these, because there was a time, like you said, at your boyhood club Newcastle, where it wasn't happening for you, and then even though you went to Coventry and you did well at Coventry, didn't you get 20? You got 20 goals in the season, right?
Yeah, 20 goals, yeah.
Yeah, you got 20 goals, and then went back to Newcastle, and for whatever reason, it just didn't happen. So, like, what was that like for you? Because it's your boyhood club.
Yeah.
You don't want to leave, but at the same time, you might have to.
It's hard because I went on loan obviously a few times before obviously signing for Blackburn on a perm. So I kind of just learned more about football, like about myself. And I knew that it wasn't just going to be, look, you've came from Newcastle, like you made your debut at 17. That I wasn't just going to walk into the Newcastle's first team. Do you know what I mean? So I had my experiences going on loan, and thankfully Blackburn took an interest to sign us. And I think it's hard leaving. Obviously, it's hard leaving your boys club, like where you grew up. Like obviously, all my mates are Newcastle fans. Like leaving all them, leaving family at home. But I kind of knew that's football, and it's probably the best decision I've made for how well I've done so far.
So with that being said, how important is it for? In fact, not important, but there are a load of players who they might be at a big club right now. Like the young players, they might be at a big club, but they're not playing. They're getting on the bench, resis or whatnot. But then, they're not really playing. Like, how big of a challenge is it to know when to go out and just be like, you know what, I've got to leave and get the football or stay?
I think you've just got to be the bigger man. I know it's hard because you're still young. Like you're still 18, 19 on the bench for the first team, like you said before, playing for the 23s and stuff. But you've got to have some balls about you and just be like, you know what, I want to play. This is what I want to do. That's how the mentality I had. I was like, oh, I want to play week in, week out. Like that's what I know. That's what I've grew up doing. So to get the opportunity to come to Blackburn was huge for me. Like I said, mate, done well. I think I've over 200 appearances at 23, so can't really complain. I've set out to what I want to do, and that's play every week, really.
Tony Mowbray was your manager at Coventry, right?
Yeah, Coventry. He took us at Coventry when I was 17, 18, just from the 23s football, and went straight to men's football, and it was like a massive difference, from going from 23s, such like nice football, like passing it along the ground, not really bothered if you win or not because it's all progression. Yeah. Just to proper men, like, and every point matters because people are playing for like to pay your mortgage and stuff, and
Hmm.
pay your bills, and every point matters to get bonuses and stuff like that. And that was the big eye opener for me. Like, if you want to be a footballer, like you're in the real world now. Like, everything matters.
You
So
know, I'm so happy. I'm so happy you said that because like I say that all the time. Like whenever I was playing and whatnot, like when I was younger, it wasn't. It was nice to play football, but when you're playing with people who, like you said, it's their mortgages and do you know what I
yeah,
mean? This is their life. So yes,
yeah,
they love playing football, but listen, don't come and mess up with my money or my checks or whatever. So you got to
yeah,
really come in and dig deep. So I'm happy you said that because a lot of people watching, they probably don't realize that it's real life for some people.
yeah, yeah.
So
Well,
you
definitely, like like outside of football, you've got families and, like you said, and mortgages to pay and bills and everything matters, And I'm not saying that everyone who I know is all about money. Like, it's
oh no,
been
of course
like
not, of course not.
sport. I would say probably 95% just everyone wants to win. Like,
Mm.
like the winning mentality is just crazy. Where I've gone from 23s football to the first team really quick. It's just like the winning mentality is so higher than just growing up through 18s football and 23s, because back then it didn't matter if you won or not. Do you know what I mean? It's
Yeah. Do you think that under 23s prepares you properly for? Obviously, it's different for different teams, but for you
yeah.
personally, do you feel like 23s football prepares you properly for men's football?
Um, like you said, it's a hard one. It depends where you go, isn't it? But I think the biggest thing is just the points, playing for points and playing for something that matters. Because for 23s football, as much as you want to win, you're still playing just to progress to try and get in the first team.
Mm,
Like, so your mentality's not, I definitely need to win this game. It's
mm.
kind of like just show the manager that you can play in the first team, isn't it? But to play men's football straight away, like you said, where everything matters, I feel like it needs to be an in between of where like the 23s can play some. I think it's starting to happen now, isn't it? Is it the Johnson? It used to be the Johnson Peer Trophy.
Oh, where they can play with like
The
men.
23s now, the 23s now played, don't they? So I think that's way
Mm.
better for them because they're coming across men and stuff. But I never had that when I was coming up. It was always just 23s leagues and stuff like that.
Yeah, no, that's a very good idea because even when I play and then when pre-season football, we'll play against like the pro teams or whatever maybe,
Yeah,
and they come down and they've got their youngsters and they get pumped,
yeah,
pumped because they're just not like
yeah, yeah.
ability wise they've got it, but
Not
men's
physically and stuff, is it?
yeah men's football is just so different, man. But hopefully, they do find that balance. And I do think more and more teams should actually be going, having lower teams, having their younger teams playing men's football. But
Yeah,
we'll see anyway. But yeah, after Coventry, you went back now. And this is an interesting thing for me because, you know, with loan systems, you loan out a player, I hope he does well, obviously.
yeah, yeah.
You did well at Coventry. Your mindset coming back after scoring 20 goals, because that's all you can do. If you go out and say, I'm going to score 20 goals in a season, that's a good season.
Yeah.
So you've gone back. What's your mindset like? Was there ever a thing where you're like, I've proven myself that I can do it now? Now, well, was it a thing where you're thinking, I want to go and now challenge? Or was it a thing of, mm, they might not still be having me?
Um, it's hard, isn't it? Like, but obviously, I went on loan to Coventry, done like you said really well, scored 20 goals and stuff.
Mm.
Went back to Newcastle, and I think at the time there'd been changes for management. I think Benitez came in. They had McLaren before that, so I wasn't there with McLaren.
Yeah.
Then he got sacked, and then Benitez. So I've had like three managers before I even went back. Do you know what I mean?
Who brought you into the Newcastle team? Was it Pardew? Am I right?
Pardew,
Was it?
Pardew brought it in, yeah.
Oh, okay, cool, cool, cool.
Pardew. And then McLaren came in, but I wasn't there with him. I was obviously on loan. But like you said, I came back to Newcastle from Coventry, um, not expecting to just walk into the Newcastle team. Like
Mm. But
they they then they then got relegated to the Championship that year. I think yeah, it was. I think yeah. So I was thinking. So I've done League One.
okay.
Newcastle have been relegated to the Championship. I was thinking, oh, surely I'll get more of a chance this year.
Mm.
Um, just a kid. I signed the new contract at Newcastle, so I thought, oh, like buzzing, the must obviously want us to be around and stick around. And like you said, it was just opinions at the time. We had great goal scorers at Newcastle at that time. So I think we had Mitrovic,
Who would have shot Mitrovic? Who was?
Dwight Gale,
Oh yeah.
Perez.
Oh yeah.
So we had a great forward line, and obviously going at the champ. But then I went on loan to another championship club, so to Barnsley. So that was kind of hard to take at first. It was like, well, I'm going on loan to the same division. It was pretty weird, but.
And did I read somewhere? I think I read somewhere that they wouldn't allow you to have your pick of teams, like certain teams that you wanted to go to.
Yeah, it was clubs who wanted us, who were interested, for all I know, and they were only letting us go to like the clubs that had came up from League One, because obviously the other clubs would be contenders with Newcastle in their mind, which I understand. But like you said, I ended up going to Barnsley, and I really enjoyed my time at Barnsley. I think I played 36 games in the champ, which is what I needed. I think I scored like 7 or 8 goals. So just an eye opener.
Yeah, let's bring that up right now. Barnsley 34, 6 goals. It's crazy because like, what was that like for you? Like, obviously you scored 20. Did you kind of think that this is my level now? I'm always just going to get 20.
It was an eye opener going from the championship that year, obviously from League One. I mean, there's just not to be big time enough, but just the defenders were just way quicker and way stronger and could read the game way better than League One defenders.
Yeah,
that's what probably hit us hard. Like some of my runs that I was making, was just getting barged out of the way with the defenders and stuff, and obviously defenders were just as quick. So I had to adjust my game, and I learned through that again. So Barnsley was a great experience, 36 games under my belt.
That's a lot of games.
Yeah.
That's a lot of games, man. And that's looking at your thing. That's the most you played in a season, right?
34. For Barnsley.
Yeah, 34 games. Oh no, Coventry, you got 40 appearances.
Oh yeah, I think I played last season. I played 40 something for Blackburn as well. So.
Oh yeah, I'm looking at it. They just combined all your things on your wiki. So you got 93 appearances so far, and you're banging in goals. Who would you say is like now in the Championship over recent years? Is there someone who? No, first, is there a team you don't particularly look forward to playing against or going there because they give you a hard time? And who's the toughest defender you come up against?
I'll touch on that. Was coming from League One to the Championship the year after with Barnsley. We played Brighton away, and I was up front by myself. I remember it, and I was up against Duffy and Dunk. Mate, I just got smashed about. Like I was like, bloody hell! Is this what the Championship's about? Just got lifted off Big Duffy and Dunk, and they battered us. Obviously, they ended up getting promoted that season, so that's my excuse. I'm like, oh well, they got promoted, didn't they? So
they got promoted, so yeah.
Smashed us about.
What about a recent season, like last season?
What teams coming up against?
No, defenders first. Like, you don't really like playing against. No, I don't want to say like, because then when this gets out, I think you're scared of them. But like, who gives you a tough time? Which defenders?
Leeds gave us a tough time last season.
I can imagine.
Ben White and Cooper, they were solid. Like, they were very good actually. Obviously, Ben White went back to Brighton now, hasn't he? But he was tough to play against. He was very quick upstairs, so he knew what runs were you making, and he was always up your arse and like just proper solid defender. And he's shown it now, isn't he, in the Premier League? So fair play to him. Like,
are you surprised by how Leeds have got on so far?
No, I'm not surprised, mate. I knew that like since coming the champ, they've been the team to beat every year, even though they haven't been in the top 2 and stuff. They've always been the team who you want to beat, and Ellen Road was unbelievable. You know, go when the fans were there.
Mm.
Like, it was just electric. The fans were mint. And that really helped them. So I wasn't surprised seeing them get the Premier League. I think they were probably the team that deserved it the most because they were just quality from the start of the season till right at the end. I didn't think they had any blips, really.
Do you think they're going to, when you look at them play, do you think they can, I know it's very, very early, but do you think they've got it in them to get top 10? So we saw Sheffield United do it last season when they come up. Do you think Liverpool can, I'm not Liverpool, sorry, do you think Leeds can, repeat that?
Who knows, mate? I think like you said, they've started off really well, haven't they? And that's what Sheffield done. No one thought Sheffield were going to be in the top 10, did they? When they first went up, they smashed it, didn't they? So who says that Leeds can't do it? They've got the players to do it. I think they've got the quality. Like you said, it's just coming up against way better teams than the Championship. So hopefully they can do well. You seen it against Liverpool, didn't they? They done all right, didn't they?
Exactly. And who they played? Was it Sheffield United? They played Sheffield United yesterday, right?
Sheffield United won, didn't they? Won now.
Sheffield United, and they played someone else as well. I can't remember. But like, I've actually put Leeds as my surprise team, even though it's not really a surprise anymore. But before the season started, I said Leeds, honestly, they're going to surprise a whole load of people because, number one, they've got a manager who, well, he's where he belongs now in regards to the Premier League, but he was managing below his level. That's number one. Number two, the way they play is so hard to. I support Arsenal, and Leeds played Arsenal last year,
yeah,
and in the FA Cup, and that first half they absolutely bopped us, bopped us, and the only thing that saved us, in my opinion, was the fact that they faded, and I think now coming up, I don't think a lot of teams are going to be able to deal with it. Yeah, I don't think, because they're relentless, and it remains to be seen, because I think later in the year, in the season, they might actually just start to fade off a bit. But
fitness is mad, isn't it? Like, I feel like I said it before, didn't I, that we feel way fitter for the pre-season we've had, and it's shown in the games. So I don't know how that's going to cope with towards the end, but the way Leeds play, mate, is just like constantly just in your face. Like, no matter who you are, like no matter Liverpool, they were just running at Liverpool, like getting in the face, and it was crazy, wasn't it? But I think they'll be all right. I think they'll be safe, and I think they'll, like you said, I think they'll surprise a lot of people.
Yeah, when you see what they've gone up and done, and you see that other teams who went up, say Fulham are there now, and who else?
West Brom.
Yeah, West Brom. When you see what they're doing, how much does it kind of spur you on? Because you're like, just a couple of months ago you were playing against them teams, so now you're watching them and they're in the Premier League. Does it make you just think, nah, I need to just get there?
Well, like you said, you just like you were playing them not so long ago, and you actually coped all right with it. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think we beat West Brom and we drew with Fulham. I think, or like it's like the level's obviously different in the Premier League, but I think you got to base off what you see, and we're seeing like doing actually all right against them teams. So Spurs, you want to say, look, we can beat these sort of teams and try and get the Premier League. I think that's how you've got to think, really, isn't it? So
yeah. Right. So this next part, I need to put a disclaimer in, because I don't want to start any transfer news. I don't want to whatever. I can just edit it anyway if it's too much. But how hard is it as a player, when, because you've been at Blackburn now for, like you said, what?
3, 4 years. 3 years, I think. Should really know that, shouldn't I? Went on loan, signed, had another season. Yeah, 4 years.
4 years. You've been at Blackburn 4 years now, and in that time, no doubt, especially during this off season, I know that teams have probably shown interest in you. Right? How hard is it as a player to know when to go, but also want to show loyalty, if that makes sense?
Yeah.
Because do you get what I'm trying to say? Because
Yeah,
obviously Blackburn have given you a chance now.
yeah.
Now the team come in for you. How much of it in you is like, you know what, they've given me a chance. Let me just stay here. Blah 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 blah. Unless it's an offer that you just can't refuse. Do you know what I mean? Does loyalty just come into it?
I think that's it. I think it's just if there's an offer that the club can't refuse and you can't refuse, then I don't see why you wouldn't leave. But like you said, it's hard, isn't it? Because you get so much like, oh, these want you, but nothing's ever concrete. You know, it's like I had it at Coventry a lot.
Mm.
Obviously, so I went, obviously, start the season at Cov, and it came to January, and
Mm-hmm.
like clubs were interested from the championship and stuff. But I'm pretty good with that sort of stuff. I never let it get in my head, because if it gets to your head, you just become a prick, mate, and just be like, oh, I'm better than this. I mean, I just feel like if it gets to your head, you just think, oh, I'm better than these. Like,
Mm.
that's not the mindset I've got. It's always been like, oh, like, just keep working hard, and whatever will be, will be. Like, that's how I say it. Like, take every day as it comes, and if something happens, something happens. Like, it's out of your control kind of thing.
Mm. Have you seen how people treat you differently in regards to like mirrors your form and how you're doing in the champ? Do you go places now and they're giving you a bit of extra attention, if that makes sense? Like even players or staff.
You see it a little bit, like, but like you said, every player is different, isn't there? All the staff are different, players are different. Like, we obviously on that point, we obviously know who good players are in the championship. You know what I mean? Like, we're not stupid, and when we come across them players, we want to try and stop them. Like, that's the way it is. And but touching on the other thing, the transfer, you've seen. I think I've touched on with Benrahma. Like, he was, for us, like, he was the best player we've come across, and he's still in the championship at the minute. Like, I don't know what's going to happen there, but obviously seeing Ollie Watkins leave as well, it's kind of like, well, how do you turn that sort of money down? And 30 mil did he go for? So
Yeah.
Brentford as a club, I'm sure I looked at it and thought, well, we can't turn that down, can we? So it's kind of out of the player's control on that sort of side.
Yeah.
Like, it's not me who's gonna go around looking for clubs thinking, oh, I'm better than Blackburn. Like, no way. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm here because Blackburn have, like you said, have shown trust in us and shown that I can play in this league with them and try and help them get the Premier League, and that's all that's on my mind really at the minute.
Yeah. I mean, well, hopefully, like I said, like you weren't too far off. You weren't too far off last season, and judging by how you lot started the season, like the games that I've watched this year. So I watched the Bournemouth one, and you guys played well. I thought you was kind of unlucky, but Bournemouth also did really well, to be totally honest with you. And which other game did I watch? Your hat trick.
Wickham.
I watched that game, and you guys do look much better, considering I watched you lot beat Charlton last year 2-0.
Yeah.
And both of you were absolutely rubbish. So you're rubbish, but Charlton weren't great that game either. But no, in all honesty, like you lot won 2-0, but I weren't really excited. Do you know what I mean? Whereas this year, you're looking. Obviously, it's early in the season, but you're looking fresher. You're looking like you have more ideas. You're looking more solid as a unit.
More options. I feel like there's more options on the pitch. We've worked on it for 2 seasons. Everyone knows what the gaffer wants and how we want to play. Like, and it's kind of just come together, I think. Like, everyone just knows what to do. We've got way more forward runners, like more people in the box to score goals. And I think that's what we were missing last season, is like scoring the kind of like the little tap-ins, the scrappy goals. We didn't get loads of them last season. And like you said, for myself, I think I've had about 4 tap-ins now, so I'm buzzing.
Yeah, absolutely buzzing. They're all goals, mate. But how important is it for you guys to, not you guys, but in general, like you said, you've been doing it for 2 years and your squad has, for the most part, stayed the same, like the core state. How important is that though, in regards to building and, going on, and achieving what you want to achieve?
Yeah. It's huge. Like you said, we lost a couple of massive characters from last season. And so for this season, to keep a hold of, obviously, you've got Jono, who run the change room, Jono, Benno, Charlie Mulgrew, Darrell Lenihan. You've got big senior players, mate, who kind of run the changing room and just other senior players, you know, who the young lads look up to, and like you said before, that core in the team is huge. And I'm still a youngster myself, so I still like to learn off them sort of guys every day and try and keep getting better. Like so.
Who are the main leaders in the changing room,
though? I think Brad would like to say he is one, but I feel like Brad's more on. I feel like Brad's more on the pitch. Like, great lad. He's a great lad off the pitch, but on the pitch, he's like, you see him working so hard, working his balls off, making tackles. You just think, I need to work hard for him because he's doing it. That sort of side. But like off the pitch, you've obviously got you've got Benno, who's just, he's unbelievable off the pitch. Benno, like speaking to the young lads, like you speak to anyone, Benno, I'm sure you come across him. You can chat for days, like so.
I heard he's always got a question.
He's always got a question and he's always got an answer. So, but he's brilliant. And like you said, you've got Mulgrew, who's still around the training ground. I don't know what's going to happen with him, but he's brilliant with the lads. And obviously Dara's a leader as well, who helps the lads as well.
What's the gaffer like, Tony Mowbray, as a manager? What is he like? Because from the outside looking in, he seems quite militant, and you know, my way is the highway kind of guy. But what's he actually like?
He's great, I think. I mean, the lads love him. Like it is how we see him. Do you know what I mean? Like he wears his heart on his sleeve, and he's just got a proper winning mentality. And he's shown the last few years of what he's done with Blackburn, of how progressive they've got. And for me to be a part of it is mint. Like I'm enjoying it. I think the lads are enjoying it, and he's a good man manager as well. You know, he knows when to put his arm around you and kind of get you going, but he's got the other side where he can tell you need to like book your ideas up and stuff like that. So
yeah,
I feel like he's got a mix. I feel like he's got a mixture of pretty much everything. So.
Yeah, and he's got loads of experience. To see how long he's been at Blackburn, and he's been there for a couple of years. But when I saw his age, he's only 56. I feel like he's been around for ages.
I know. He's at West Brom, West Brom, Celtic, Middlesbrough. He's been
around for ages, and he's only 56. So he's got plenty of time left. All right, cool. I've got a question coming from someone on Twitter. I had a couple in my DMs, but you know, I'll ask only a couple. Favorite position: playing out wide or number 10? Do you reckon you can do that?
Well, I played on the wing pretty much most of the season last season, and I enjoyed it at the time. You know, I was still chipping in with goals and that, so I enjoyed the wing. But I used to play 10 at youth level. I could always play I was always a 9 or a 10. Like back then, there was like a number 10 position, wasn't there? So I played that quite a bit, and I enjoyed that. But I don't know if I could choose from one. I'd probably say a winger, just because I played it last year. So
yeah,
I'd choose.
I think, like you said, I think it's what you said. The number 10 role, it's not there anymore, man.
Nah.
And I'm so annoyed because we all love a good number 10. But
it also.
You know what? If you were there, I'd spud you. I love him. I love it. But you know, this is a conversation that me and my boys have regularly. How the number 10 role, it's kind of disappearing from football. Do you get what I'm saying? That you as a player in this day and age now, are you noticing that as well? That you don't really get those number 10s?
There's definitely a lot less in our league now who play number 10s. Because obviously we look at every team, don't we, before they play them. And it's very rare now that you've got a number 10. Like, it's just, you've always seen me got 3 midfielders or 2 up front. Like, you're never really playing with a number 10, but I don't know. I think it's coming out of the game a lot. I don't know. Arsenal don't play with 1 anymore, do they? So
no, that's what I'm saying. Man City don't. Like, a lot of the top teams don't actually play with them, and when you do get a good number 10 or someone who would do well in that position, they get pushed out to like.
Do you think that's affected? Do you think that's affected Ozil? His situation?
I think. Not playing.
Like, not just number 10 and not playing and
Oh, 100%. I think if you're gonna be a number 10, the good number 10s always have players around them that can get them the ball into
yeah,
them.
yeah,
And I think Ozil suffered when, for this is my just personal appearance, and I don't know anything. Ozil suffered for me when Santi Cazorla went at the team.
yeah,
And now you see Ozil, when he does play, he picks up the ball in his half and can't really do anything. He's not blessed
yeah,
with speed to then go, and that's not his thing. So, and with the way Arsenal play now, we don't have the capacity for a luxury player. Do you
No,
get
it's
what I'm
just
saying?
yeah,
It's just graft. That's
yeah.
it. It's graft, graft, graft. And yeah, but I personally do think that if Ozil plays, he increases your team's.
Oh, 100%. That's just the quality of the player, isn't it?
Yeah,
Like,
I still. So I don't know why he's not playing. I don't know, but you know, it's a sad one. Which
get him in Newcastle. We'll take him.
no way, no way, no way. Get out of here for you to just get the ball from Lascelles, just miss him and go straight to go straight to Andy Carroll. But
We'll be there for the knockdowns, mate. Don't worry.
you know what I was thinking over the weekend, yeah? For all this good football, yeah, that everyone likes to play, and
Yeah.
what a ball up to Andy Carroll and for a knockdown will always cause trouble.
Problems, mate. Problems. It's just it's different, isn't it? Like, it's just you've seen teams go out the way of playing long balls, and teams were known for long balls, weren't they? But mate, if you're battering them at doing it, why would you stop?
Yeah,
Like,
like it's so. I was literally watching the game, and Liverpool, not Liverpool, I keep saying Liverpool, and Newcastle didn't have any answers, and Tottenham were managing them relatively easily.
yeah,
Andy Carroll comes on, and all of a sudden, it's just problems. And it was his header that led to
yeah, the pen.
you know where it's going to go each and every time.
Yeah,
But yeah, that's what I used to think about Championship football. It was literally just like that.
I think that's what championships changed a lot now. Like,
Mm.
there's way more teams that one possession football now than just long balls, getting knockdowns and staying in their half of the pitch.
Mm.
I think it's way more possession football now. It's more enjoyable. Like, everyone's, especially for us, we're enjoying it, and we know when to play long and when not to. So
Yeah,
I think teams.
I think that's I think that's definitely why I've been able to watch, Championship football a whole lot more, because I can watch any football. Do you know what I mean? Like, from Ryman League all the way up to whatever. But to watch it for enjoyment, well, I can only watch it if it's scrappy. If I know someone playing. If I don't know anyone playing, I'm not watching it. I'm not gonna lie to you. But when I see good football, it's easier to watch. So last year, when you get in the Brentford's playing football, and it makes it easier to watch. So I'm definitely happy that there's no more of that. I mean, you still see it every now and then, but
it's not nice to watch, is it? As a fan, like, it's not nice to watch.
It's not nice to watch at all, man. What was it like for you playing against Ethan Pinnock?
Yeah, well, he's similar. And I think, was he at Barnsley? I think he came. He was at Barnsley and signed for Brentford. He's done really well, hasn't he? Like, especially for Brentford last season, I thought he was brilliant. Coming against them, I think we actually done all right against them. We drew 2-2, and we beat them 1-0 at our place.
I didn't want to bring up that 2-2 game because someone missed the chance, and
someone missed the one-on-one.
I didn't want to bring that up, but yeah.
We should have won that game, but some idiot missed.
Ain't it crazy how that's your bread and butter? Like, but then, I mean, I know it's probably bringing flashbacks. You're just gonna start like whatever.
Sleeping the night now.
But yeah, like, is it hard as a striker to get that out of your head after the game? Not so much in the game, but after the game. In fact, how does it affect you in the game as well?
I've always been brought up off my dad. Like, he drilled into us, like, look, you're gonna have you're going to make 10 runs a game, get the ball twice. You're going to have 10 shots. You're going to probably score 1 or 2. Like, you can't let your head drop when you miss a sitter, or when you miss a 1v1, or you make a run and you're offside, or you make a run again and you don't get the ball. Like, I've always had that drilled into us where you can't let things affect you on the pitch.
Yeah.
They never really affect us off the pitch, really, mate. I always try to just forget about the game, and obviously you will watch it back and stuff and you see things that you've done wrong, but when you're back in the house, I like to just give me missus a rest from football and not constantly be thinking about it and being miserable in the house and that. So I kind of just let it slide after the games and stuff.
Have you ever had a miss so bad though that you take it home with you? Yeah.
I've definitely had some in my time. I've definitely missed some sitters, but I just concentrate on the ones I score. So that's the main thing.
He's got. What was the one you scored? Was it against Cardiff last year?
Yeah.
From long range.
Yeah, that was a nice one.
Well, yeah, it was a nice one. How much of that is just instinct in regards to deciding to take on the shot and whatnot, and confidence, man? You need a load of confidence to just do that.
That's it. I honestly believe if I wasn't doing well at that time, like I'd scored I think a lot of goals towards that end of the season. Or if I wasn't confident, I definitely wouldn't have took the shot on. Like, confidence was going through the game. I had a few chances before, knew that I was playing pretty well, and when it came across to us, I just had one thing in my mind. Like, I knew the keeper was off his line from just being the awareness of what's around us and stuff and where he is. And it could have been one of them, mate, where I just went and roll Z or went in the back of the net, and luckily it went sweet as a nut in the back of the net, so I'll take that one.
You as a striker, what strikers do you, in world football now, do you look at and think, oof, how good are you?
Aguero right now, like Aguero and Suarez, like the things they do is just madness in it. Like, I feel like Aguero's more like instinct as well. Like he could score from nothing, and his hold-up play for the size of him's a joke as well. Like,
and that's Aguero for me is my favorite striker in the
yeah.
And there's this thing on this podcast where they'll tweet me after I say this now, because people think I don't like Harry Kane. And I love Harry Kane. Oh no, I don't love Harry Kane. But I don't love him, but he's a very, very good striker. But for me, Aguero all day is he's just for strikers, man. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
His consistency in big moments as well, which is what separates him and Harry Kane from me. Do you get what I'm saying? And for you
I agree with that. I think they're obviously both unbelievable strikers. Like, I feel like Aguero's just not like, I don't know. It's weird. Like, I feel like Aguero could score more of like goals from nothing than Harry Kane. Like more like, and that's probably the reason I'd say he's better. But how can you misjudge Harry Kane though? Like, obviously as an Arsenal fan, you're thinking, but the things he's done, mate, is incredible as well, isn't it? So,
and this is what I'm saying. When I really look at it, like he's a top striker, and he over the years his game has improved so much. Because before it was just about scoring goals, and I felt like he was quite selfish. Whereas now, as you're seeing, he's improving bringing other people in and assisting people now. Do you know what I'm saying? And I just want to see what happens when him and Bale comes. I mean, when him.
What you're saying is you'd take Kane over Aubameyang in the Arsenal team. Is that what you're saying?
Ever will I take Kane over Aubameyang? Aubameyang is just.
Nah, he's so underrated for me.
100%. For me, he's world class for me. I have to just say he's world class because for what he's doing in that Arsenal team,
mad.
It's just crazy, and he's doing it all from the left as well. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And he's learning, and again, I was talking about this on a previous podcast. He's learning to just know how to just put the ball in the back of the net. He knows where to be. He's not associating himself anymore with the build up and his job, boom, back of the net. and he's doing it at crazy levels right now.
I don't think he gets talked about as much. Like, he doesn't get really. I think he's got to be in the categories of the best strikers in the world at the minute. Like, he has to be.
He has to be. He has to be, but he won't for whatever reason. But
exactly, he doesn't get talked about much for my liking. Like, no one really. Like, you talk about Aguero, Kane, Suarez, Lewandowski, but he's never like. No one ever mentions Aubameyang, does it?
I know, but it's one of those things where I'm all right if they don't. As long as he keeps scoring the goals for Arsenal, and
he stays
if he was talked about that, he might not have signed that contract. Let me put it that way. But then again, he turned down Barcelona. So,
yeah.
But to be honest, I'm glad he did it. That Barcelona one, I feel like that's one of them ones where you go there and it's not everything's rosy as it seems. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I feel like there's so much politics at that club in regards to play. What's that like actually? Politics at a club obviously there's politics at all clubs, but even better. You at Newcastle. So does the politics of what's going on there ever filter itself down? Like, because obviously, for years and years, there's been the whole Mike Ashley ownership, blah, blah, blah. Do you, as a player, did you ever feel that as well, come down? Or is it just like, what's going on up there?
A little bit, because obviously there's players who are experienced players at the time who are maybe in the last year of the contract and they're getting kind of treated differently than what they were when they had 4 years left of the contract.
Yeah.
And that's probably the biggest thing. It's kind of like when you're in your last year of your contract and maybe you're not wanted anymore. It's kind of like just pushed to the side a little bit and not really like, not being shown any love anymore kind of thing. And I think that happens at every club, I think. So, but when we don't really deal with, like I said before, we don't deal with the owners and that sort of side of it. So we just see every day as it comes, really.
You as a fan, though, were you gutted that the takeover didn't happen?
Oh, as a fan, definitely. I think the whole of Newcastle were, weren't they?
I had what do you call it? Jamal Lascelles on my podcast, and we did an Instagram live.
Yeah.
An Instagram live, and literally it was around about the time where they were talking about a takeover and what. I had 1,000 people on my live, all just commenting cans. Literally, they were just getting so crazy for the takeover, and I'm kind of gutted for them that it didn't happen. But
imagine a club like Newcastle being back in Europe and Champions League, and I mean, I guess you've probably been to St James's. I don't know if you have, but the stadium's incredible. Like the atmosphere, you're getting 52,000 every week, no matter who you play. Like, they've done it in the Championship. They were getting 50,000 in the Championship. Like,
that's actually
unheard of.
That's absolutely crazy, man. I don't know. And the thing is, Newcastle's one of those clubs, because of how big of a club they are and because of the love that their fans have, you can't help but like Newcastle and want them to do well. When they were in the Championship, you don't want to see them there.
No.
You don't really want to see them there. But I'm going to expect you to say this, but you look at them on the pitch and you're like, what's going on? You have players there. You have players like, for me, John Shelby, who at times has been very unlucky to not be called up to England squad, 100%.
Yeah.
Now you've got the Callum Wilson, you've got the Jamal Lascelles, you've got Saint Maximin, even though he's injured right now. Like, there's players who can actually do bits. Do you get what I'm saying? But I don't know what's going on. For whatever reason, it's not working. But hopefully when they sign you next year, I'll play. But hopefully, I don't know, things can happen and it be turned around. Like, do you enjoy watching them right now?
It's hard because half of them are my mates. Like, I still speak to them, but it's just, I don't know. It's hard. It's hard to watch at the minute. Well, the Tottenham game was. I mean, they just battered us from the start. It's like
Telling you.
it didn't look like scoring, did we? But like I said, if Newcastle got took over and chucked a bit of money into it, got the right players in, it would just give everyone a lift. I think it would give the players a lift as well, definitely, because
Yeah.
it's been hanging over the players' heads for so long.
Mm.
Like it would definitely give them a lift as well. So, like you said, as players, from a player's sort of view, you're just taking every day as it comes on you. You're not really, you can't focus on what's happening outside of football.
Yeah, no, I definitely hear that. And last question, before I wrap this up, because this person he sent me 3 of the same question, so you must really want me to ask this question. What's your favourite moment from Coventry? Your favourite memory from Coventry?
Favorite moment, I'd say my debut. Favorite moment because it was my first
You
football
scored,
league.
didn't you?
Yeah, I scored 2.
Yeah.
We beat Wigan 2-0, so that was definitely my favorite moment.
Mm.
I mean, I'd have to say that at Coventry because coming from Newcastle, being on the bench, getting on the pitch for like 5 minutes and playing 23s football, just going into proper men's football and scoring 2 straight away was a massive moment for me. Like, so I'd definitely say that.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Well, Adam, thank you very much for this.
It's been a pleasure, mate.
It's been to be honest, it's been one of my worst ones. So hopefully that.
Only because you mentioned Harry Kane, you're a bit gutted now.
Oh, bloody. And you know what? Someone's gonna chop this up and send it to me like they always do. Why don't you like Harry Kane? And but anyway, as long as they keep listening and subscribing, I'm all right with that. So, yeah, no, thank you very much. All the best for the season. Who have you lot got this weekend?
We've got Cardiff at home.
Oh, it's not away.
Yeah, not away. It's a horrible journey, that, but nice to have them at home, mate.
Yeah,
hopeful
for this weekend. How have they started off this year? Do you know?
I think they've had a couple of wins and maybe one loss. I know they lost the weekend, but like you said, mate, championship football doesn't matter. Anyone can beat anyone. So
because even the 16th now, and yeah, it don't matter at all. Because even Notts Forest. Oh my gosh, Notts Forest. They've not started.
Yeah, they lost the first 3.
Yeah, and they've got a good team. My boy Lyle's there, Lyle Taylor.
Yeah,
and
got a great.
Cyrus. But that's what I'm saying. As bad as it looks, they could go and win the next 6 and suddenly be 3rd in the league.
Yeah.
So,
that's the division, isn't it? So
yeah, we'll see. So all the best against Cardiff.
Cheers,
no doubt, I'll be looking forward to seeing the Angel of the North celebration. Feel free to, if you score 2, feel free to do a celebration for me. I'll definitely. If I see you do this,
what do you want?
If I see you do that,
yeah,
then I'll love it. Do that so that I know. Cool. But no. Thank you very much for doing this, man. And I've got a load of DMs. If I show you the DMs I was getting, because you're coming on. So not just from Blackburn supporters. I had a couple Newcastle, a couple Coventry. So thank you very much for doing this. And again, all the best for this season. I'm sure we'll catch up again later on in the year. But thank you very much.
Been a pleasure.
And you guys watching this, keep liking, subscribing, sharing, all of that good stuff. Just let me know what you guys think. If you want to shout abuse at Adam, Woolies, Twitter, and everything's going to be in the description. I'm joking, don't shout abuse at him, don't.
Not if you want.
But guys, until next time, I'm gone.